Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a shard opening. However, I am going to be doing this a bit more different. It is a combination of a shard opening and a showcasing video with regards to a strategy that I've been working on developing to help people get those legendary champions more often. This is still a work in progress, and it's basically all a game of numbers and percentages. So this is what I'm working with. So while the strategy will increase your chances of getting a legendary champion, it does not mean to say that it will guarantee those chances. It just massively increases those chances, and you will see later on in this video exactly how it works and basically the results. Bear in mind, this is still a work in progress. Now I am going to be working on improving the strategy. However, things can either be very costly or very grindy for me. So with that being said and done, if you guys want me to do shard pulls for you, I'm more than happy to do so. I will of course do it in such a way that you will see in this video so that we can perfect this particular method so that everybody can benefit. So if you want me to open or do a shard pull for you guys, you can contact me on Discord. I will definitely be happy to do that, and the best bit of it is it will also be a video and it will contribute to perfecting this method. So in the long run it will help the community, and this is what this video is about. It's also a shard pull, but it's also about helping the community. So before we get into it, all shards are pretty much a percentage of getting something. As you can see, there is a bit of an event going on. It's a 10 times summoning event for Venus and Cupidus at the time of making this video. So I do have some shards saved up, some that I bought. I'm going to try and do this on my own power, but I would appreciate any help, however little. It will contribute to the research that I'm trying to do and to improve this particular strategy. So with that being said and done, let's assume that a specific shard has a 1% chance of getting you the best tier champion or class champion, right? The way that works, basically in an ideal world, you should get 1 out of 100 pulls. You should is the key word, so do bear that in mind. It is still a percentage. Random is still random. It is randomly generated. But to give you an idea of how it works or a better understanding, and do bear in mind that the maths behind this are very loose, very simplified, right? It's all a game of numbers and maths. So say that 1% chance, if you want to get that item that has a 1% chance of dropping, I would guess, based on my calculations, that you could have a higher chance of getting that from anywhere in between, say, 40 shards to 120 shards, or by pulling them you should get at least one. It really comes down to your luck and how the game generates that number. So it's still a game of luck and numbers, but with what I'm going to show you, you are going to increase your chances of that random rare occurrence taking place. So here are my shards. These are what I'm going to pull. So that'll be a total of 58 shards. I'm going to pull them all. So the ancients, the voids, the sacred shards. But before we get into it, let's talk about the strategy that I'm going to use and how it's going to work with regards to increasing my chances of getting a legendary. As I said before, do bear in mind, this will increase your chances of getting a legendary, but not guarantee it. Still is a random chance of that not happening. So as you can see, I've pulled 10 of the green shards, and what I'm looking here for is to pull as many of these without getting a blue champion. So first 2 pulls have got me a rare champions. I'm looking for several pulls that will not give me a blue champion. Basically, the rare champions or the blue champions from the mystery shards are that rare occurrence which has happened. Now that is just me getting good luck on those pulls, but 9 times out of 10 you won't get it. So the idea is I am going to use the mystery shards to increase my chances of getting a rare champion, in this case a legendary champion, on the mystery shards, which is what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull batches of 20, 30, 40, 50 until I feel that I'm getting close to the percentage or the chance of getting a rare occurrence to happen, in this case a rare champion to drop. So just what I've explained to you has just happened there. I used and started off with the green shards. I noticed that I was getting loads of blue champions, so I decided to take a bit of a gamble on this one and break my own rule. Normally I'd pull 30 to 40 to 50, maybe even 60 of the green shards before I go to the blue ones. And as you can see right there, on the first 3 pulls I kept getting the rare champions, so I moved on to the blue shards. After the second pull I got my first legendary. It's a very awful legendary, don't get me wrong, but you know, I did get Abyss, which is a legendary. I also got a good epic, so this is one legendary that I've already had. So now that that has occurred, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly go and clear out my space of the common and uncommon champions. So that would be the champions with the white border and the green border, because this guide is for everyone playing this game, even the newbies. So I'm gonna get rid of them as quick as I can. I'm gonna feed them to a champion that I'm not gonna destroy. I want to just clear out the space as quick as I can and then go back to the pull. Because I already got a legendary and the chances of getting another legendary from the blue shards are very small now, I'm going to go with maybe 2 times 10 pulls, 3 times 10 pulls, however many I feel. It's normally around 50 pulls where I'll stop, and this is the part that actually needs a bit of work on it. So to explain this into more detail, if a rare occurrence, in this case a rare champion from one of the shard pulls, has a 1% chance of dropping, then technically, in theory, I should need to do 100 pulls to guarantee that drop. And so that's where that comes in. Now do bear in mind that that 1% chance is a very rare occurrence, and 1% could happen within the second pull or within 120 pulls. So I'm gonna put a margin there, you know, from a least amount of shards that I should get it from to a maximum amount of shards that I should be able to get it from. So the least amount of shards would be somewhere around 40 to 50 shards, which is why I went for 50, and the maximum amount of shards that I would need to pull to get that rare occurrence or that rare champion would be anywhere around 150. So that's kind of like where we're looking at. That's the margin, and that's the area that I would like to improve on. It is a very vast area, space or amount of shards that one would need to estimate on. So this is where I'm working on perfecting it. Now once you get that rare occurrence to happen, because it's already happened, you have to start from scratch. So say for example you've pulled 50 shards, 50 green shards, and got no rare champions. You've moved on to the blue shards and you've pulled say 2 stacks of 10, so 20, and you got that rare occurrence to happen. You go back to the green shards because the chances of that rare occurrence taking place one after another are very, very, very small. So with each pull your chances significantly increase. So somewhere around 50 seems to be a good number, 50 upwards I'd say. And as you can see, I got another epic champion, not one of the best champions, but I still got an epic, which is still a rather rare occurrence that does tend to happen in the game. So that is the principle behind it. The numbers at this point in time are quite loose. Now obviously to do this you will need to have, I'd say, somewhere in between 30, 40, 50 empty slots in your roster and maybe another 10 in your vault. So I've pulled a 10 stack. That's what I got. As you can see, I've still got 20 shards to go. I have now committed to the blue shard pull. I'm going to carry on with this and see what we get. We're going to do it one by one. I just like to keep things mixed up. Now do bear in mind that whether you pull them one by one or a stack of 10, from what I've seen so far, it looks like Polarium basically calculates the percentage per shard. So if you do a pull of 10 shards in one go, it does not necessarily increase your chances of actually getting that legendary to happen, apart from the fact that you pulled X amount of shards before you got the legendary. So this is what we're looking at. This is what the strategy is. Basically, you pull as many as you can before you move on to the better shards to increase your chances of getting that rare occurrence to happen. So say if you pulled several stacks of 10 blue shards and you didn't get a legendary, the further you go, the more you pull, the more you get a chance, or your chance of getting that rare champion increases, if that makes sense. So 10 more ancient shards to go. I'll give it a stack of 10 mystery shards. I nearly forgot what they were called. I'm going to quickly clear out all of the common and uncommon champions and then move on to another stack of 10 blue shards, ancient shards. So quickly get rid of these. We see if we get anything now. That 0.5%, I believe that's what it is, or something like that, for a legendary champion to drop out of the blue shard is quite small. So with that, that means you will have to most likely pull more shards for that rare occurrence to take place. Now, roughly speaking, as an estimation, I would say somewhere around 150 would be, in an ideal situation, the number that you're looking for to kind of maximize your chances of getting that rare occurrence to take place. But it is a percentage, so that means that will have a bit of a gap, if you will. So I would say somewhere around 100 to 200 shards you would need to pull to get that rare occurrence to take place. These are the gaps that I'm looking at perfecting. So I did get some decent champions in this pull. They are epic. I'll see what I can do with them. Now I still have 8 shards to go. Of course, the better the shard, or the higher the chances on the shard, the better the percentage for you. Now I've already got a champion. I'm hoping to get a second champion if I'm lucky. And we'll see by the end of this video how well the strategy works. But that is pretty much the secret to getting this. Now do bear in mind, this is gambling. This is what we're doing when you're pulling the shards. You're literally gambling. Anything with a percentage is gambling. I'm gonna again get rid of the common and uncommon champions. I'm gonna choose one champion that I'm gonna feed them to. Don't want to be wasting too much time here. And as you can see, I've got two of the Abyss champions, which kind of sucks for me, but whatever. So we'll do that. And that's how I got actually my first Abyss champion. I think I must have pulled somewhere around 60 of the mystery shards, and I only had one of the sacred shards. So after pulling the mystery shards, I then just decided to take a gamble on it and pulled the sacred shard, and that's how I got Abyss. And that is where this whole thing came, this whole strategy. I realized then that, you know, I am working with numbers every time I pull these shards, and so therefore there is a way of trying to increase your chances of getting a legendary. Now we'll see what happens by the end of the video. I'm hoping to get something nice out of this. I would like to get Bellower, to be fairly honest. I still have a lot of void champions that I need to fill my ranks. We'll see what we get. It'd be nice if we get something, even if it's some good epics. I'll be happy with that. Now do bear in mind that the sacred shard has a 6% chance of dropping a legendary, so that's why you want to leave your sacred shards for last. Voids and ancient shards both have a 0.5% chance of getting a legendary, so you want to start with those. If you get a legendary champion in either a void or the ancient shards, then you'll probably want to go back to the mystery shards, pull maybe, I'd say, again 50-60 of those before you move to the sacred shards. Now, in terms of ideal amount of shards for this to actually yield good results, I would say have anywhere in between 40 to 50 or higher if you can. In terms of ancient shards, as many void shards as you can save up, and same thing for the sacred shards. The whole secret here is once you get a legendary, go back to opening mystery shards, do a couple of stacks of 10 before you move on to opening the other good shards. So that's kind of the story behind it. Now that means you'll want to have as many mystery shards saved up with the purpose of opening up your better shards for a chance to get a legendary. Also, as an idea and a tip for those that don't know, you do want to try and save up your shards for the purposes of the event or shard opening events, as you do want to also take advantage of that. You will get some rewards out of that. Sometimes you'll get shards as rewards, so you do want to try and kind of time it with that, because it's gonna work in your benefit in the long run. So I have 3 more champions now. I'm taking my time looking at these void champions because these are all champions that I've not yet got. And I finally got Bellower. Jeez, it took forever, but I'm happy I got him. I can actually now use him as my campaign farmer, which would help me level up champions a lot better and quicker. So this is actually the first Bellower that I got. Thank heavens for that. Still have 2 more void shards to go. And as I said several times throughout this video, this is a work in progress. Any help from anyone would be most appreciated. And this, once I get it fine-tuned, will become a guide in which I'll explain the whole workings of it in better detail. And anyone that wants to contribute and wants me to do a shard pull for them, I will make it into a video. It will be on the channel. It won't be as long as this. This is also one of those videos where I'm taking the time to explain the concept and idea behind it. And when I do make that guide for that particular video with regards to increasing your chances to get those Legos, I will also credit the people in that video that have contributed to the shard pulls and perfecting the method. I mean, there's only so much perfecting that can be done, but I feel like the numbers that I specified with regards to how many of the mystery shards you'd have to pull still needs a bit of tweaking. And obviously that would mean having to do multiple shard pulls to actually get a better number, to get, you know, a consistent number. Now obviously all numbers are percentages in this particular thing. It is gambling, and there is, you know, that chance of not actually getting a legendary, but still the chances are fairly high. So 1 more shard to go. Sacred shard. 1 time, no whammies. Let's see what I get. Here we go. And we get another legendary. And actually, we get Queen Eva, which is, I'd say, a very good champion. I'm happy to have that. And as you saw, this is, from my perspective, a very good overall pull. I got 2 legendaries. One of them was awful, but I also got a ton of good epics and some really good champions out of that. And that's pretty much it for the shard pull. I'm now going to kind of explain how I intend to proceed with those people that want me to do shard pulls and want to contribute to this. It will obviously be also for the community, because when I have more information, more data to work with, I should be able to narrow those numbers down even further and kind of give people a better idea with what to look at, what to work with regards to increasing their chances to get those legendaries. Obviously, with each shard pull that I do, I will make a video, and all the people that contribute to this will of course also be mentioned in that final guide that I will make, because I will put all that information into a guide. But in order for that to be accurate, and I do like to work with accuracy, I do need to do more pulls and to see what the results are. Now, the reason I'm making this guide and this video is because with regards to pulling shards, and I'm talking about your ancient, your void, your sacred shards, if you're a free-to-play player, you probably worked your backside off to get those shards, and if you're a player that pays for it, you've probably dished out a decent amount of money out of your wallet and paid for them. So you do really, this is one of the areas where you really want to increase your chances of getting something good, and I think it can be done. As you've seen in this video, I got to, and while luck is just luck, there is still a way of increasing your chances to get lucky, if you will. And so for those interested, you can contact me on Discord. We'll talk about what I'm gonna do, how it's gonna work, and just as a brief overview of what I would be looking at is somewhere around 40 to 50, 60 shards for the pull. It will, as I said, be a video as well, and also a ton of mystery shards, and then obviously 30, 40, 50 spaces available in the characters or in the accounts roster, so that I can feed the unwanted champions, in this case the common and uncommon champions, to another champion quickly to be able to go into the next pulls. And with that said and done, that is it for this video. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on what you've seen in this video. Do you like it? Are you interested in it? Do you think I'm onto something, or do you think I'm just chasing dreams? Definitely want to know what people think about it. And thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you have found this video useful and entertaining. If you have, please don't forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethum Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.